Hello, this is Watch All About with another watch review, and in this review we're looking at one of the latest offerings from Aquatico, the C-Star 300. Now Aquatico always seem to make a pretty well-made, solid watches for very reasonable prices. So without further ado, let's have a look at this latest offering. So the unboxing process isn't particularly exciting. The case itself is a bit on the cheap side, but however, at the end of the day, it is just a box for traveling in. So let's have a look at the watch itself. So I've got my spare links in here. I've got the printed Aquatico logo on the end there. And then we have a little warranty card as well. And obviously we have a little cushion for the watch to reside on nicely. So let's get it out and have a look at it. Okay, so let's discuss some of the specs. First of all, the price. So they have it on their website as an RRP of $499, which is about £380. However, that isn't the actual price you pay. At the moment, it's down as $239, which brings it to a very, very reasonable £180. Now, as we go through it, you'll realise, wow, okay, we're getting a lot of watch for the money there. So, size, I've got just over a 7¼ inch wrist for reference. So we have a 42mm diameter, a height of 13mm, and a lug-to-lug length of 50mm. So we are getting a really, really solid, chunky, oversized, large diver watch for the money. On top of that, the weight is 164 grams as well. So it really does feel like a chunky, well-made timepiece. We also have a 22mm lug width as well. Which provides a really wide, I keep on saying chunky, but it feels that way. Really substantial bracelet on top of the watch itself. So water resistance is a great 30 atmospheres or 300 meters as well. I mean, obviously I haven't really tried it underwater, but we have a decent screw-in crown, screw-in case back as well. So certainly kind of watch that you'll be able to go diving in, so that's good. You have a 1-year warranty, so just a pretty standard warranty there, nothing too exciting. The movement is the Seiko NH35A, which we see many, many times as well. It's low beat, so it's 6 ticks per second, 21.6 thousand ticks per hour, beats per hour. This one, however, seems to have been regulated because it's coming in at an amazing plus 4.6 seconds a day. So obviously that's within COSC specs. Very, very impressed by that. And obviously they don't come out of the factory that accurate, so obviously some regulation has been done by Aquatico themselves. So again, pretty impressive. So that's all the specs. Let's have a closer look at the dial itself to begin with. Let me just give the little bit of a wipe. So first of all, the dial then. I like the snowflake hands, very a little bit different, a nice alternative to the classic Mercedes hands, quite Tudor inspired, and the little offset diamond on the second hand as well. So nice to see something a little bit different. I think it suits it really well. And we have our applied hour markers as well, relatively deep, and everything else is printed, and apart from we have a neatly done applied border to the date window there with the white date window poking through. So everything, that's pretty much everything we can describe on the dial itself. It's got a printed logo, which is very neat and fine, and it's just a very solid, bold look, thanks to the hands and obviously the hour markers as well. So sitting on top of the dial is a really thick and reasonably heavily domed sapphire crystal. You can see the extent of the dome here. It's double domed. So as we get really tight angles, we can still see it. There's no distortion there. Well, minimal bit of distortion, but you can still read the watch, which is good. But you can really see the quality coming through there, how thick it is, adding to the fact that this feels like and looks like a real good quality timepiece. So moving on to the rest of the case then, starting off with the bezel. I really like the Pepsi style, blue on top, red on the bottom. Brings through a wonderful splash of colour. Reasonably firm, good action, nice to feel the rotation there. So we've got a good solid mechanism working in the background, decent grip as well, and I like the ever so slight outturn of the grip of the bezel as well. Really easy to use, and you know, it just looks pretty nice, nicely done as well. The case itself, we have a helium escape valve. It's not necessarily required on a watch which is rated at 300 meters, but I guess it's just one of those things which is pretty cool to have. And then on the other side we have a crown, again really nicely machined and manufactured. I like the size of it. I think it's not too sticky outy, if you know what I mean. It doesn't come out too much, but has really good grip, really easy to use. And as you can see, it pops out nicely, spring loaded, and then we can just push it back in as so. There we go, and it has the Aquatico logo very nice and accurately engraved on the end there. So onto the case itself, we have a polished top, brush top, brush side, and then this polished shoulder as well. It's much more sensible to have primarily brushed on a kind of diver's watch, because you know, polished sides and tops will pick up scratches very easily. However, it's nice to have this little thin element here which catches the light nicely. It's good also that we've got drilled through lugs, so it is easy to change the bracelet if you want to. Moving on to the case back then, we have this mermaid riding a dolphin. Quite interesting. I mean, the artwork itself isn't probably the best drawn, but it's nice to see something, you know, a little bit custom, a little bit unusual there. And it's engraved, but quite lightly engraved. It would have been cooler if it was deep stamped or something like that. However, you know, we can't expect everything. It's going to be out of sight, and fair play to them for making the effort. So this is all brushed as well, so again, should be pretty hard wearing. Moving on to the bracelet then, really big, fat, chunky links, as you can see, and they are held in by screws, so make sure you tighten them up regularly, and tighten them up to begin with to check that they are all nice and tight, because I hear quite a few stories where people don't check them straight from the manufacturer, and sometimes, you know, these things can loosen up in time, so don't forget to check them. We have micro adjustment as well, so you can get the perfect fit. And our buckle itself, our deployment buckle, pretty standard, nothing too exciting, and we have Aquatico very lightly engraved on the top here. Bit of a shame that it's so lightly done. It would have been nice if it was a bit deeper, but again, for the price, it's perfectly acceptable and easy to use. Not double locking, however, it does feel really secure, and it is, you know, it does take a good pull to open it up anyway. So it's not uncomfortable to undo it, but you know, you get that feeling that it's not going to pop open on its own. Okay, let's get the macro lens on and have a look at it in closer detail. So starting off with the dial. So you can see our print work there. A bit more print work at the bottom here. And our applied hour markers. If I can get a shot on the side, there you can see the depths. Nice decent depths to it. Here's our date window as well. Nice and accurately done, even at close up. And then our hands don't have the same polished finish. They have like a brushed surround to them. You can see there. Then our seconds hand, again, the same brushed appearance to them. So that's it, all nice and neatly done. Moving on to the case then, in particular the bezel. Just a printed aluminium insert. Nothing too exciting, got a loom pip there. Print works nice and neat. And then looking at the manufacture of the bezel itself, really nicely done, as you can see. Nice and accurate, with all these grip teeth perfectly machined. Moving on to the side here. Nice, decent brushed finish. Our polished corner is very accurately cut in as well, as you can see there. Nice straight lines. Here's our helium release valve, hello. And the other side is one of our drilled through lugs. And our crown, so we've got the Aquatico logo nice and deeply engraved there. Good grip on it as well, as you can see, nice and neat. Flipping it over, moving on to the case back. Here's our lovely lady riding the dolphin. Like the drawing, as I mentioned before, a little bit crude, not the most artistic, but there we go. And these details lightly engraved around the outside as well. So the bracelet, fully brushed top, 3 links, and also brushed sides as well. So they will hold up nicely in terms of scratches compared to polished. There's a couple of our screws there, nice and neatly put in. And finally, we'll have a look at our top buckle. So here's the logo. You can see it's laser etched or very lightly engraved, which is a shame. Would have been better if it was a little bit higher quality there. But apart from that, you know, the rest of the buckle is perfectly acceptable. Okay, so as it stands, £180 for this watch, and for me, that is a really, really good price. You are getting a hell of a lot of watch for your money. Just the whole fit and finish of the watch is really, really good. Finishing of the dial, you know, can't complain, spotless. Finishing of the case as well, really good. I mean, these lines are really nice and accurate. The bezel feel and fit and finish, really top quality as well. Really nice, thick, chunky bracelet. On top of that, you know, you get the Seiko movement. This one is regulated to an incredible plus 4.6 seconds a day as well. So for £180, it does offer a staggering amount of watch for the money, and I've been really impressed by it. It's a lovely watch to wear as well. You know, the thickness of the crystal, just little things like that where you notice it with your eyes and you can tell that this is a substantial watch. Really heavy on the wrist as well. So, you know, it's remarkable how they've done it in such an affordable package. Obviously, the packaging itself, the box, isn't the best. However, you know, that's not a concern whatsoever, because just put it in a watch box and put the box in your loft, for instance, or your attic. So really, really nice watch. Really very, very well put together, nicely constructed as well. And I've been really, really impressed by it. So this was the Aquatico C-Star 300, and that's what it's all about. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe. See you around soon.